Hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self Development with Tactics podcast. And as you can see in the background, we are still on the paulminus.com website, and I do just remember that I wanted to do something else before this. So I've noticed that we haven't been gone through the whole summary we've been discussing yesterday. So in the last episode of yesterday, I thought I'll definitely go through this one. But at the end, I had so much to talk about that I kind of didn't manage to do it. So therefore, we will go ahead with this one at first, and then we will go through a book which is an incredible insight, or should give you and me incredible insights, into the lives of very, very successful people who are billionaires, millionaires, and over successful. The book is called Tools of Titan by Tom Ferris, I don't know, which is the actual author of the 4-Hour Work Week, which is an incredible book, has sold millions of times, I guess. He himself is also pretty incredible. He has his own podcast. If you didn't know, it is, I think it's quite great. I've been listening to it a little bit on Sunday, actually. It was quite a great podcast, but I'm, quite into Gary Vee's one because, of his energy and, all this kind of stuff. But if you're very interested in all these famous and, successful people, his podcast is definitely something for you. But nevertheless, we will go ahead with a book about getting rejected. And I, by the way, also think that getting rejected is also something pretty important for you because it is just some kind of type of failure, and failure is just, another way to learn. So I think it is. Think of a setback that you have experienced and ask yourself these two questions. Can I take responsibility for the setback rather than blaming someone else? In terms of this, and now again gonna be some kind of philosophical, but this is always when I just see the word responsibility, I just always have to tell people this. And I know I've been speaking about this one just so often, and a lot of people who might be or might have been listening to the podcast a few more times than others might be like, oh no, not again, the responsibility thing. But if you make yourself responsible for everything in your entire life, you are the only person who can change it. If you blame just somebody else, you give him or her the power to really change your life. And this is something you shouldn't do. And that's why, making yourself responsible for quite everything. It's important that it's quite everything, not everything. Because, there are certain situations where, you can't blame yourself or can't be responsible for, because it's just not, it's just not your responsible, or you're just not to be blamed. But just most of the time you can be responsible for certain things. And then you just really create yourself the framework for yourself that or in which you can really change your whole entire life without kind of relying on somebody else, because you alone have the power to change everything, because you're responsible for everything. The second one is, can I accept the poor outcome for what it is rather than trying to rationalize it away? This may hurt now, but will produce greater motivation to change in the future. Definitely. It may not be until you make some progress towards your goal that your real motivation becomes clear. That's totally true. And this is the exact same thing that quite happened to myself in terms of this journey that I'm now on with the podcast, with YouTube, with the social media post as well, is that you just start. I initially started because of the money. Totally. But in the meantime, for me, it's like I know that money alone won't be something that makes me happy. I definitely need money to exist. Definitely, this makes sense, because without money I couldn't buy myself food or just live. But on the other side, just being able to help other people is something that I've been really enjoying. And I hope I've done it on my way, and I will do it on my way as well, a little bit more and a little bit on a bigger scale, hopefully. But money alone won't make me happy, and I think money alone won't make you happy as well. It is always like, I just always think about it like this: if I if I had $1 million, I wouldn't know what I should do with it. I would then just, do all the things that I would normally do. I would just sit here and record this episode because, first of all, I wouldn't like to get $1 million. Actually, just because of lottery or some fucking shit else, because I want to work for myself and I want to, just work for it, for this amount of money, for this achievement, for this success. And I don't want to be like, yeah, I've got this from my parents, or this and that, or whatever. I want to work and I want to just achieve it myself. Besides that, goals always will change because people always change, or can just change, hopefully. A lot of people are just, especially old people. If you're old and you're, just, I don't know, if there are old people who are old, it's pretty subjective, but older people are actually listening to me right now or watching me right now. But yeah, especially you are some kind of type of person who can't change easily. It makes sense for me because you're just on this planet for so long that, just changing a habit or changing some kind of thought or opinion about certain things, certain scenarios, certain people even, is pretty difficult because, this is what you have lived like for your whole life until now. If we make steady progress, then slowly, almost imperceptibly, our self-image starts to change. This could be true, but this could be then in a negative way and a positive way as well. So, identity changes are not just a result of increased motivation, they can also feed your motivation. Research suggests that thinking about who you want to be in the future can increase optimism and motivation. Totally, because at my point of view, and this is something I think is even scientifically proven, I don't know, take it with a little bit of grain of salt, but our brains actually seem not to be able to really difference or really see a difference between thoughts and the reality. Therefore, if you really just think about that you are just really successful right now and actually visualize it so deeply, your brain actually thinks you are on your goal, or you are a millionaire right now, because your brain can't decide whether it's a simple thought, or it's reality. And therefore the mind has incredible power, because if you just imagine to be healthy, your mind thinks like it's healthy and everything is okay. And this is with everything else. So I would invite you to just look it up. I didn't look it up. I just, quite often rely on it, to be honest, without actually quite knowing it. But I think it's actually, yes, scientifically proven. And therefore, also for me, it makes some kind of sense as well, I think. Monitoring progress consistently emerges from studies as key to making progress towards a goal. Definitely. I've been talking about it in the last episode, and I would really enjoy and also invite you to really go to the last episode and watch it or listen to it, because there are quite a pretty useful information in it. Very useful. It's one of the best episodes I've ever done, I think, or one of the better ones actually. Without kind of being like, oh yeah, it was the greatest episode ever and whatever, without being like this, but definitely it was a great episode with great insights and great information as well, and just, with a great kind of tip and great advices, and to just show you what I've been talking about. I've just been, okay, no, nothing is working right now. Please work. Why wouldn't you? Okay, never mind. So I've been talking about the 17 steps of getting motivated, actually, and I've been kind of discussing it in terms of working out, or just with a working out worldview, because it was very simple and very effective to discuss it and to really explain what they mean and what I just think they meant with just, working out metaphors. But yeah, so this was actually the end of this kind of summary. I will just go through recommend readings. This book was basically about getting motivated, and I do think I've been going through this. I quite always just think about like, I think like I've just forgotten about something, about a summary I would or should actually do or haven't finished actually, but I will just start a new one every single episode, and I don't know why, but if there is an episode I haven't finished, or a book summary I haven't finished, please contact me. Please just write me on Instagram or whatever. All the links should be down in the podcast description, so not in the episode description, so this episode right now, but in the podcast description there should be somewhere a link to all my social media platforms, all social media channels and our profiles, and there I would just really invite you to just contact me on the platform that's most convenient to you. If you just really enjoyed the episode, or if you just recognize it that I have lost something or whatever, please contact me, because I don't know, I've just not overwhelmed, but I kind of forgotten it, because there's so much that I should think about, and actually just hang a really big sheet of paper on my door so that I really just do not forget so much things that I've forgotten in the past few days, because there are actually things I should be doing right now in terms of my internship, in terms of actually sending back something with mail, with actual mail, not email, but mail, which is something I definitely should have done in the last week already, but because I had school and so on, it's something different or a little bit difficult. But yeah, we will go on with Tools of Titan by Tim Ferris, or it's Tim Ferris and the Tom Ferris. Okay, so this is a book about, he actually, there is a brief summary of it, so yeah. Tools of Titan is a fantastic read, and there really is something for everyone in this book. Broken into 3 sentences or sections, healthy, wealthy and wise, author Tim Ferris deconstructs the habits, routines and daily rituals of the world's top performers. This summary is a little different to my normal format, as the book is so full of information. What you will find below is a collection of highlights I made with which reading on my Kindle. This is actually something that I have been thinking about as well, because yesterday I have actually been watching a video of Ayman Gatsi, who is actually he kinda is now a social media marketing agenter, so he has his own agency with, not quite full service, but actually, social media marketing, and he has also some kind of e-commerce stores as well, so he's definitely a businessman. He makes a lot of fucking money with just his 18 years what he is now, which is incredible. And he also said that he reads quite a lot, and he reads quite a lot of books on his Kindle as well. Just lately, it was a pretty new episode, a pretty new video of him, and he then explained, or just pointed out, that he could actually all the notes he has taken from the books he has read would be in some kind of Facebook group he has. So it's Ayman Gatsi, it's GADHCI, sorry, I think. So you could, probably look it up. I will look it up as well, because having his notes are actually great insights into the book itself, which is, totally good. And I could make it as well, because I do have read a few books on my Kindle, and I will probably look for a way to export these notes, or highlights actually, or maybe even notes as well, to really give it to you. If there's a possibility, I will see. But yeah, which would be great, because you can just, really, get really, very, pretty much a lot of value out of it. But yeah, so these are just quite his highlights. So the introduction, who is the summary for? Tools of Titan is a fantastic read, and broken up into 3 sections, blah, 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 blah. This book is essentially a combination of all the tips, tools, and tricks he learned from over 200 of his podcast guests. About the author, Tim Ferris is an American blogger, author, podcaster, and all-around entrepreneur. His podcast, The Tim Ferris Show, has been number 1 on iTunes for years, and he has released 4 New York Times bestsellers, or number 1 New York Times bestsellers, Tim Ferris comes across as incredibly relatable, and down to earth. Perhaps why his personality or popularity has skyrocketed. Why a diverse range of knowledge with a diverse range of knowledge, Tim Ferris isn't all about business. He has even brought out books such as The 4-Hour Workweek and The 4-Hour Chef, diving into the world of health and fitness. Yeah, he's pretty much an all-around guy, which is something I really want to be as well. So I'm just really interested in a lot of topics, not only business, not only self-development, even though there is a lot of fucking things correlated to self-development, which makes it fairly easy for me to just, put up content on this channel or for myself, even though, which is a really tactical move I made. You might know that I was named Self-Development with Tactics initially, but I've really made every single platform or every single profile which I have on social media, I've turned them to my personal brand, actually. Why? Because I think it's actually better to have just personal brand accounts and not really the self-development accounts, which therefore I could practically make everything with them, so I do not only have to rely on self-development only. So yeah, therefore I could just upload everything I would like. The thing is, practically not, because I just don't want to upload gaming videos, not because I do not like gaming, but because it's some kind of fucking different than all the other things. But let's go ahead with this summary. This book is so full of information, it's impossible to summarize it completely, definitely. This summary has taken a collection of highlights from each of the 3 sections, healthy, wealthy and wise, and we'll discuss a couple of top tips within the healthy section. We will discuss exercise, the low-carb diet, mobility, and morning routines or rituals. The wealthy section will cover being busy, saying yes and saying no, the what-if mindset, startups and investments. Finally, the wise section will cover happiness, perfectionism, dealing with haters, and some important questions you should be asking. So the book summary of the healthy section. Making health number 1 50% of the time doesn't work. It's absolutely all or nothing. If it is number 1 50% of the time, you will compromise precisely when it's most important not to. And I definitely think that a lot of people just get it wrong with the whole health thing. I just really try to eat fucking healthy all the time, quite all the time. For me, it's more painful to actually eat a bar of chocolate or only a piece of chocolate than actually eating something that actually doesn't taste that good, but I know it's healthy. For me, it's so fucking painful to eat some sweets or something that is not healthy, because I'm so used to just eating healthy and eating what is good for my body, and I definitely then just pretty much realize it after I've just eaten something. If you just have eaten something that's so unhealthy, most of the time you will just feel pain in your tummy, or you just don't feel good or so full and whatever. And actually as well, which is the initial point I wanted to make, is that without health you can't do anything, and health is just based on what you're eating, if you're moving or not, and what your lifestyle looks like. And if you do not have the proper health, you can't do business, you can't do what you like, you can't do this and that, and therefore, which is actually something I do not know, it's something difficult, but I just thought about it and I think it's quite funny. And if you just smoke less, you are able to smoke more of cigarettes. So what I mean is that if you just smoke less of the cigarettes, you theoretically would be able to smoke more, because you would live longer, because you're just a little bit compromising that you actually only just smoke 1 cigarette. The one fact that will just punish the whole thing, the whole theory of mine, is that actually smoking 1 cigarette a day is just as damageful, or just as worse as just smoking 3 or 4 or 5, as science I think just quite recently published or just found out or whatever. So definitely health is important. A lot of people get it wrong at my point of view, that they are like, yeah, okay, it is okay to be 50% of the time healthy, and because they just pretty much prioritize the business more, even though they do not understand that without health they can't do their business, and basically without health you can't do anything. Exercising. Exercise is a fundamental aspect of overall health, but it is important to get the right balance. Over-exercising is just as dangerous as under-exercising. Ferris emphasizes the importance of exercising with the intention of improving your fitness, never hurt yourself and don't go overboard. Totally. You do not have to work out 7 days a week. You do not, really have to, make really heavy sets or just really, I don't know, just bench press 180 pounds or whatever, which is, just only for bodybuilders or just people who are athletes in these areas. Just being fit isn't that much work. Just 1 hour or even less, 45 minutes of a little bit jogging, a little bit weight training is something I always suggest. I actually would suggest to do only body weight exercises. Just let the weights be the weights and, work with your body. This is what I have been doing for the last 3 to 4 years. Actually, I have been a little bit weight training as well because I thought like, I'll try it out. But at the end, it was always like, always when I've been, making a little bit weight training included into my body weight exercises, it was always just some kind of, I've been hurting myself because either I'm just, pretty much too dumb to really make them or make them precise or make them correctly, the weight exercises. But I think in general, you only need your body. And you just have to maybe read a little bit about it or know a little bit about it if you're just more advanced to really just get everything out of your body in terms of how you leverage your weight and how you do this and how you do that and how you make this exercise harder and that exercise harder so that you can actually progress with it. But for the beginning, I would always suggest to really just rely on body weight only, because you just create a really great fundamental, and these are all compound exercises, so you won't just kind of miss a body part out or something. He recommends working out somewhere with a soft surface such a gym mat, so if you tumble or plant, the risk of injury is reduced. If you tumble or plant, okay, I understand it. Ferris' book reminds us that consistency is what's important when it comes to exercise, not intensity. Totally. And this is something that, and this is a pretty good story that will contribute a lot of your life, so will give you a lot of value. I have been working out for now 3 to 4 years actually. It was always a part of my life, doing sports and being athletic and just being active all the time. I've always liked it, and always in the summers, the thing I do is, when I'm bored, is just, get my bicycle and drive somewhere, even if it's 2 hours away or 1 hour away. And, this is something I like. What I've noticed is that if I work out too much, it is not good because I get ill. And then you just really have to be truthful to yourself and honest to yourself to see, okay, you can't work out every second day because this isn't working for you. You are, going to school 40 hours a week, just working out every single day doesn't work out. Do something else. It's not good for your body. And then I just be like, okay, I've, for a long time only worked out for two times additionally to the school sport in a week, which is then in total 3 days a week. And I do it right now and it works quite well. I am not that ill quite often, or not that often as before. My body feels good. I just, everything is good. So there you just have to be pretty truthful to yourself and really show what's good for your body. Only because someone else is just suggesting you that you should actually go to the gym 4 or 6 or 5 or 8 times actually, or more even a week, doesn't have to be true for you. If it is working out for you, great. If not, then not. Then you just have to adjust it and do something else that's working for you and your life. And definitely being consistent is pretty important. Just working out for 1 day a week, but really, really heavy, I do not know if this is the best thing you could do. Simple strength exercises you can do daily: 1 arm kettlebell swing, kettlebell Turkish get up, and the kettlebell goblet squat. Pebble Celine highly recommends doing a variation of these 3 exercises every day and guarantees that you will see results. Yeah, I do just still rely on my bodyweight exercises. There are great books outside like Mark Lorraine, who was an actual, I think, Navy SEAL instructor as well. You Are Your Own Gym is the title of the book. It is a great book. There are great insights in it. But yeah, you will definitely maybe should read a little bit about it and get a little bit knowledge in this area so that you can fully decide whether something is good for yourself and or not, because there are a lot of programs outside and there are a lot of people outside who just say they know some things, but as I said, if these things aren't working out for you, then don't do them. Breathing. Breathing is something we often take for granted. Try out some breathing exercises to improve your inhalation and exhalation. Ferris' book recommends combining exercise with breathing. Do as many push-ups as possible in one set. Stop short of failure. Note down how many you did and rest for 30 minutes. Repeat the following 40 times. Maximum inhale followed by a let go exhale, dropping your chest sharply. After 20 to 30 rounds, you may feel a bit lightheaded or some tingling in your head. And on your final round, inhale, exhale, then do another set of push-ups, and you will likely find that you are able to increase the number of push-ups from last time. So I will give you a little bit more of this because I do just see that I've read it a little bit dumb. And yeah, so you should do 20 to 30 rounds of inhalations and exhalations, which should be pretty deep at my point of view, and you should do this for what the fuck? Yeah, 40 times of inhalations and exhalations, and you should do this for 20 to 30 rounds, I guess. I'm not quite sure if this is really correct, but this is actually the method that what is he called? The Iceman. He's called the Iceman. I do not know his Wim Hof. Yeah, Wim Hof, the Iceman. He's the actual record holder for the longest time in an pretty much ice bucket. So it's a really big ice bucket, and he sit in this, and I think he was sitting in this bucket for around 3 hours in total, which is incredible. And he also swam in iced water, underwater, under just an ice surface. He got blind during the swim, but he definitely then just, kept calm and everything was great. The whole breathing technique he's using just, really relies on just breathing and a few exercises, I think, and he is then really able to just go through pretty extreme scenarios like, running a marathon in the desert, or just, walking in the ice and just climbing a mountain totally in shorts, and so on. So he's done just pretty incredible things. If you are interested more in him, then I would just really suggest you that you should Google Wim Hof and the Wim Hof method, which is just his breathing technique. And I think it's actually so I do just want to read it again, but do as many push-ups as possible in one set. Stop short of failure. Note down the amount you did. Yeah. Then rest for 30 minutes and then repeat the following 40 times. 40 times. Maximum inhale followed by a let go exhale, dropping your chest sharply. After 20 to 30 rounds, so you should breathe in and breathe out for 40 times, and you should do this for 20 to 30 rounds, which means then 20x 40 exhales as a minimum, which then you should definitely feel a little bit tingling in your hands and a little bit lightheaded as well. Why? Because your body is full of oxygen. And why are you then able to make a little bit more or do a little bit more push-ups than normally? Because your muscles just need the oxygen. And if you do have the oxygen right in your muscles and they are really packed with oxygen, you'll definitely be able to do more of them. I think you should be, no, he doesn't really point it out. You should never do it when you're just, short before driving a car, short before doing something dangerous. Never. Because you could just, break down or something, but you could just, because of this high amount of oxygen in your body, just some things could appear or something could happen. So please be conscious about this method. Be conscious about that it is nothing you should do in just really dangerous places. Just do it in a really safe area, please, and it will definitely help you. It takes a lot of time. This is quite the reason, and it's not that rewarding for me that I do it. But Wim Hof is actually the person why I started cold showering. He also suggested after his breathing technique that you should actually cold shower. So totally check him out. He's an incredible person with an incredible story as well, and a really tragedy which happened in his life. So please check him out and get a little bit more out of this. So this is pretty brief. So yeah, recovery. There are lots of different ways to aid recovery for your body. One of the first one discussed in Ferris' book is hyperthermic conditioning, also known as calculated heat exposure. I think this is actually the thing. You might have seen this kind of gadget or this kind of what is it called? Is it an instrument? Can I say instrument? So it's pretty much trousers, but really thick trousers, which create either, I think, a very high heat inside of them, or they make it very, very cold inside of them. And especially football and soccer players, I think, use them to just really recover. And also in general, iced baths and followed by hot baths and so on are pretty common ways for athletes to recover and so on. So this is the hyperthermic conditioning. There is evidence to suggest that things can improve your endurance and actually increase your GH, which is your growth hormone levels. One of Ferris' guests explained that they have regular saunas post-workout, just 20 minutes 3 to 4 times a week at a temperature of 160 to 170 degrees Fahrenheit. This can be extremely beneficial for reducing DOMS, which are delayed onset muscle soreness. Okay. Yeah, I definitely feel so. Especially cold showering was something that really helped me and my life. Also in terms of building the discipline I need in my whole life, and also, health-wise, because you can definitely feel see that you feel so much better after a really, really cold shower than after a really, really hot shower. Because after a really hot shower, I tend to feel sluggish and, not really energized. But if, after a cold shower, a cold shower followed after a warm shower. So I would suggest you in the beginning or just in general, firstly, you should do a warm shower and then you should do a cold shower. If you only, shower coldly, then it might be not the best thing to start with. And I still don't do it because I feel not good after it. I just feel very cold. And especially in pretty cold times as we have now with pretty cold weather, it is something that's, you should think about before doing. So now on the other end of the spectrum, Wim Hof, Laird, Hamilton and Tony Robbins are all avid followers of cold therapy and use it as a tool to improve their immunity, mood and increase their fat loss. Fat loss totally. Because of the cold shower exposures and the cold weather exposures, whether you're actually doing a shower or you're going outside, if it's snowing and you just, have a walk or a jog, then you will definitely burn a little bit more fat. And I'm not that, knowledgeable in this area, but the amount of, I think it's white fat reduces and the amount of brown fat just builds up through these cold showers. Because your body just realizes, okay, I need more fat that's actually reheating my body, which is the brown fat. The brown fat itself isn't, but as I know, it isn't that clear to see. So it is not that you just get fat of showering cold, totally not. But you will burn this white fat, this bad fat, but you will gain warm fat, which is good fat. So yeah. And this is actually something that I've been really just reading about and really been looking or just giving myself knowledge about a few weeks ago, because I was pretty interested in it, and I thought, yeah, if this is a really good method to increase my immunity or my general health and better it, why shouldn't I do it? So I still cold shower. You can maybe feel the really benefits of it after a few months, actually. So I don't know. I feel incredibly in my body. I feel incredibly in terms of mental states most of the time. So yeah, I think this is actually also something that's really been contributing in my life to this point. So all the problems I have in the daily world subside when I do cold exposure. Exposing myself to the worthy cold, it is a great cleaning, purifying force. Wim Hof is an expert in cold therapy and takes it to radical extremes. However, Ferris recommends you start small when in the shower, end your shower with 30 to 60 seconds of pure cold water. Gradually increase the time spent under cold water. Definitely. And if you're ill or not feeling that good, I would suggest you rather doing 30 seconds than 60 seconds, because your body has problems himself, so you shouldn't really force him to handle the cold shower on top of everything else. So yeah. But I actually do feel like I do have to do more than 60 seconds. I still do 60 seconds, but this is something like a problem I have. I start something, I do something, that's not a problem for me, but actually progressing it consciously is something that I do need a plan for this. And this is actually the reason why having plans is a good idea. You just, make sure you progress. Also emphasized in Ferris' book is the overwhelming importance of drinking water. Kelly Starrett stresses that you need to drink a large amount of water daily to maintain optimum health. He recommends adding a pinch of salt to your water to aid with hydration. Okay, yeah, drinking enough water is something I totally struggle with. I never drink something, I do not feel like drinking something. It is just me, and I feel like I don't need something to drink. But there are just sometimes I do need something to drink, so it's not all the time like, yeah, I do not have to drink something, I'm incredible, a superhero, whatever. Totally not. Yeah, low carb, definitely to start with. I totally think that this is bullshit. I have been looking forward to actually just really quite changing my mind, and this is something important. If you just look for informations, do not, or be conscious about not pretty much giving more to your own opinion, but also seeking for the other opinion as well, or other opinions in general as well. So don't only look for information to just pretty much validate your point, but also see, okay, is my point even just right or true, or if it's just something else that's right or true. And this is something I have been trying to do with slow carb. I'm sorry, is it slow carb or low carb? I will see. We will see. A lot of Ferris guests promote the low carb and ketogenic diet for optimum health. This is something I always feel like, my God, man, it's just another diet, and you just eat, less carbs, which is actually something that you should not do, because carbs are actually, the most, the things that give the most energy to your body. And why are you doing this? But let's see. I'll definitely look forward to go through this. The keto diet is essentially a low carb, high fat diet that is designed to imitate the state of fasting. Rather than using blood sugar, glucose as your source of energy, the body becomes dependent on ketones, which are derived from fat. A few of the benefits of this diet are fat loss, better body composition, potential anti-cancer effects. Yeah, this is totally true, because it seems like carbs actually kind of feed cancers. And if you really just wanna, quite let the cancer starve, actually, then you just don't eat any carbs. This is something I knew, or I know. I'm not quite sure about it scientifically. in terms of, scientifically being proven or validated. I don't know. So it's, it could be true, it could not be true, but yeah. Improvement of oxygen consumption, increase in overall strength and health. A couple of Ferris guests, such as Dom the Goshen, recommends doing fasts. Yeah, I do feel like this could be something that's good for your health, because it's actually something your body has done over the millions of years that it exists. There were always just some fasting times and so on. So actual fasting could be good. I don't know, I haven't been reading something about it, or just, haven't gained any information about it, but I feel like, yeah, there could be something about it. He explains that by fasting, you are essentially resetting your body and immune system, stimulating stem cell regeneration. He recommends trying a 5-day fast 2 to 3 times per year. So actually not eating something for 2 to 3 entire days. Okay. I actually feel like, yeah, doing 1 day of fast, this could work for me, but I don't know. It is tough, I think. Definitely tough. But with the whole, low carb diet, it also depends on whether you want to gain weight or lose weight. I feel like, okay, for losing weight, there could be something about it. I don't know if it is healthy or not. If they say, yeah, you lose weight, you could definitely lose weight because, yeah, you're just eating not a lot of carbs. But the actual thing is that by eating a lot of fats, which, per gram have the most calories in terms of the 3 essential things you need, like carbs, fat, and then protein. Fats do have the most calories. So if you just, replace carbs with fat, you will definitely gain weight, because they do just have more calories than the carbs have, which, yeah, definitely then lead to gaining body weight, because they also do not just fill you as much as carbs are doing. So I don't know. I definitely don't know. I would suggest you should see if it is working for you, or just, gain a little bit more information about it and so on. So I don't want to say anything about this. Yeah. Actually see me just looking. Yeah. And also, yeah, what I actually wanted to say initially is that it also depends on whether you want to gain weight or lose weight, because for gaining weight, making a diet that, makes you lose weight might not be the best idea, obviously. But yeah, Ferris tips to a slow carb diet. Eliminate all scratchy carbohydrates that are white. Think like pasta, bread, and pastries, and also sugary things. I would definitely suggest you to just do not eat any sugary drinks. Anything like cola or Pepsi or whatever, don't eat this stuff. Don't drink this stuff. Don't consume it. Because why? You can drink water, you can drink non-sugared juices, okay, even though they just fall under the category of actual, not good carbs. I've actually seen in an official page of one country, or international wise, I think, that non-sugared juices are also not good in extreme amounts for your body, even though it's just only fruits, or it seems to be like only fruits. But yeah, definitely just throw out everything that is like unnecessary. Yeah, you do not need a Coca-Cola, you don't need, I don't know, that wine or something. You don't need it, it's just something you would like to have. Repeat the same low-carb meals regularly, have the same thing for breakfast every day, do the same for lunch, and if you require some variation, you can mix up your dinners. Never drink your calories. If you want to lose weight, if you want to gain weight, definitely drink your fucking calories. It's an easy way, it's something I should do as well. Avoid fruit, there are too many sugars in fruit. This is something I've been really trying to get more information about. Are fruits actually bad? No, they aren't. because at my point of view, you just get a lot of vitamins out of them, minerals and all things that your body actually needs. So do not cut out fruits. Yeah, they contain a lot of sugar, but it's not unnecessary sugar. It's not some kind of sugar that is added to some products. If you're eating like, I don't know, a good example would be a yogurt. Yogurt do have a lot of sugar because there is sugar added, additionally to the lactose, which is the milk sugar. But there is a lot of artificial sugar added to this yogurt. But fruits, they just, they are like this. And we all should eat fruits, definitely, because there are vitamins in it and minerals. But actually, to be pretty honest, I do not have that much knowledge in this area. I've been looking for it. I haven't found anything that quite pretty much satisfied me. But yeah, so I wouldn't say you should not cut out fruits because you need them. But yeah, there are too many sugars in fruit. Okay, to track, measure your body fat percentage. If you see this dropping, then you are on the right track, definitely. Take 1 day off per week, go crazy and eat all the foods you eliminate on the other 6 days. This is also something I would never suggest because it's dumb. Why would you? If you just, have 5 or 6 days a week of, really clean eating and, I actually wouldn't also say that you should eat the same shit over and over again if you have the possibility to. I always think about it in terms like, how has the actual very, very early human been eating? Has he been eating or she been eating a lot of meat? Definitely not. Has he eaten a lot of fruits? Yeah. Could this be a reason why he died early? No, because there was no hygiene as well, but in terms of eating, maybe. So yeah, it's always like, okay, are we meant to do this? Are we meant to eat this? Are we meant to eat artificial vegan thing because we want to be vegan? I don't know. But I would say that it is about your health. You're eating healthy because it's about your health. If you do not have proper health, you can't do anything else. So why would you just take off 1 day to, just really fuck your body once again and not be that healthy or as healthy as you could be? Why would you? There are so many great things that you can eat that are actually healthy. Desserts that are really, really good, that are healthy and are sweet as well. Maybe you do not eat that clean once a day or once a week actually. This is okay, but don't eat like everything that's totally shit. I would say no, don't do this. Flexibility can be passive, whereas mobility requires that you can demonstrate strength throughout the entire range of motion, including the end ranges. To not go on reading that long. Never mind. It's amazing what working on your mobility can do for you. Too many people get caught up in the exercises that they neglect their mobility. Squats are something everyone knows how to do and a lot of people focus on. Kelly Starrett, CrossFit athlete, explains what he calls the campfire test. Try squatting all the way to the ground while keeping your feet and knees together. If you can't do this, then you have a problem with the range of motion in your hip and ankle. By continuing to sweat heavily without this mobility can lead to multiple injuries. Starrett recommends doing light, narrow stance, overhead squats in combination with cross-sack squats as a way of improving your mobility in these two areas. The key is to keep it light. It's about working on mobility, not strength. Ferris credits the cross-sack squat with the kettlebell as having a fundamental effect on his ankle mobility. He reminds you to keep your heels flat on the ground, definitely, because it then would just really fuck not muscles, but it's just these really strings that are the reason why you can actually move your hands, because this is actually not a muscle. I think you know what I mean. I hope. Do just want to actually translate it because, long, sinew, tendon. It's a tendon, tendon. So these things could be very, very lightly thucked, or easily fucked if you just haven't have or do not have your heels on the ground. Definitely. Where did I stop? Toes, your hips close to the ground, flat on the ground, your knees directly above your toes, and your hips as close to the ground as possible when you switch. A couple of other mobility movements that Starrett recommends are the cow stretch, sometimes called cat cow or cat camel in yoga. He also recommends spending as much time as you can in a low lunge and working on shoulder rotation using the Bergner warm-up. This is definitely something that I am not doing, and I should definitely be doing, because this is important. Yeah, definitely. Again, definitely. No, this is really important because because it is important to just be not only very, very, do not have only strength, but also be able to just, reach your toes while standing, and all these certain things. And I also think that you can improve your strength, as they say, I think, with this mobility exercises and with actually being able to really, be mobile and be just, athletic. I always just like the term athletic because I don't think that bodybuilding as such is good for your body if you do not have the mobility, because often it feels like, these people do not have any mobility, even though, which is often not true, because they have a great mobility and are, great in shape as well. But I think mobility is something important, totally. You should be doing it, at least, a little bit of stretching after these workouts you make, or in cold showers. And this is actually something that I have seen, that after or while you're taking a cold shower, you're so mobile. I can really reach, my toes while I'm standing, which was something that I've never been able to do. Nowadays, I can just reach the ground above me or under me. Definitely not above me. But yeah, I think this is the end of the episode. It might create, I don't know, speaking didn't went that well today. Do not know why. Definitely something that's a little bit disturbing myself. But I shouldn't be too hard to myself. It's another language, but it's a language I have been learning for 8 years now, I think. So I should definitely be able to speak it properly and speak it not like a native speaker, but definitely like someone who has learned it for 8 years. So I hope this is working for you as well, so that you can understand me. I wish you a wonderful day, a wonderful night, whatever, or wonderful midnight, whatever. I wish you success, health, wealth, happiness. I wish that you give back and a great legacy. And with that being said, I see you and I love you.